We're live, and that's one crappy snapshot that I just took for this video. So we'll see what actually comes into these videos and don't just come based on snapshot alone. Um, Welcome. I am Aaron, and welcome to my movie library. If you've been watching over the last couple of videos, awesome, you rock. Because I've been slowly doing kind of a tour of this whole movie library, and I'm getting farther ahead now. I'm in between doing more of this room or going to the TV room and actually starting on that one. So doing a bit of both. Now, I do have my phone with me because I may be getting a call, and if that happens, then I guess I don't know if I can pause the live video, restart it, go for a minute, that type of thing. If there's a bunch of you here, you can talk amongst yourselves. Come may not come. If it comes, something I got to grab. Anyway, hey, and ready? How's it going? You are the first person here tonight. So last night I planned on doing a video, but to be completely honest, I was too tired. I was too wiped out. I planned to do more of the tour, and I'll be completely truthful. I do like to see like it get to a certain viewership on a video, and then that kind of makes me feel like, okay, you're not completely tired of me. I can come back and make another one. That kind of thing. So if you watched last video, you got to see that I toured the Kino Lorber, the Shameless, and the Mon Macabre stuff. We looked at the Vinegar Syndrome, and we looked into the Criterions and that style stuff. And we also looked at my shelf of of horror DVDs. Hey, Scotter, how's it going, man? So I'm not quite sure where I should start today. I can start with the MGMs. We can go from there and kind of like go with that era of it. Or we can go right on into the TV room and you can see the type of TV shows that I collect as well. But I think maybe we should finish this room first. And I should have an unboxing either Friday or Monday. It won't be a movie though, but I did recently pick up a ordered a computer, so fingers crossed that comes in one piece. We'll do an unboxing here, and I'll let you know a little bit more of what I'm doing. I am looking towards going to school and going to do something that I guess I've got a little bit of an aptitude for. That's working with computers. Hey Wolf, how's it going, dude? So anyway, yo, Jesse. MTV, Aaron. I would have loved to have done that. If you know kind of a channel called Space, it's like the Canadian equivalent to Sci-Fi, which is in the U.S. There was a time when I lived up in Ottawa, and they were at the time they were looking for hosts for the Space Channel, and and it was just as I was moving back to Newfoundland, so I was going to pop myself out there. It's been a while since I did anything like hosting or TV wise or any type of acting or any of that type of stuff. But I was extremely intrigued, and I always wonder what would have happened if I would have went for it. If that would have been something that would have been a gig I could have done. So, since most of you guys are here not to look at me right now, and the two, we do have much music. Unfortunately, much like MTV. Much music, no longer so much about the music. We get a lot of these like reality shows. Oh, thank you, Unready, and stuff like that. So that would have been yeah, I remember that. I remember if you're older like me, then you remember stuff like the older hosts, like the Erica M's. Like you guys had like Nina Blackwood and people like that. You still hear your MTV VJs, except they're on Sirius Radio now, like the 80s on 8 and stuff like that. But here in Canada, we had a few. There was, I think, one became like a politician, one went out and did some other stuff. Night Flight, they're right on. But you can look her up. I was completely enamored with, like most guys my age at the time, were enamored with Erica M, EHM. She actually became a children's author later on. But back in her Much Music days, we were every teenage boy was completely and utterly in love with this girl. She was our VJ. She was our big crush. So, without further ado, tell you what, let us start with the MGM releases. I'm gonna look into the midnight movies, stuff like that. Get some random stuff there. So it'll give you a little bit of a VH1. VH1 did it so well. Like they had those VH1 like kind of like the best, and they did it in England too. They did like the kind of like best of the '80s, best of like '88, all through the years, best of the '70s, that type of stuff. I'm an '80s kid, so I was like really into the '80s stuff. One of my dreams actually would have been to like be on one of those shows and to host. I when I was younger and I was going through like acting classes and all that type of stuff, and enunciation and dance and all the no man interrupt away dude and all that stuff. I was watching shows like Switchback and that, like with Stan the Man and like those guys on. If you're Canadian, you're around my age, you probably know what Switchback is. It was this TV show that was the best of if you were like a kid, you're a teenager, it was the best. You got like music videos, you got like Batman or like the Munsters, that type of thing would come on to be all these kind of contests. It was fantastic. And all the time when I was actually trying to go into like acting and stage acting and stuff like that, maybe hosting would have been a better thing. I just never thought of it at the time. Anyway, let's go over, look at the stuff. Let my hand get like super tired because this is, oh, there we go. The last time you're going to see this face for a little bit. Lucky you. All right, so just to recap, we did the shelf. All right, so right up here, just before we go into it, there's my Errol Flynn collection. I'm a huge Errol Flynn fanatic. My favorite movie is Captain Blood. I used to play that, as Errol Flynn film when I was like when I was a kid. Errol Flynn. Oh, I get that right. Great documentary on him there. Val Lewton. I grew up idolizing Val Lewton. I used to think he was the director and not a producer. Oh, Robin Hood is fantastic. He did so many great films. He was the Robin Hood for me. But I did. I got Val Lewton confused. I'd always say Val Lewton the director, but he was a producer. You learn over the years. There is my Michelangelo. I've got all 4 of the pop figures. I like the 8-bit pixel ones. That's my favorite. This, of course, is a Black Maria. That's the Texas Chainsaw. Now, let's go down to the... Oh, well, Rathbone taught him, man. Rathbone was legitimately he was a sword-fighting monster. I mean that in the best possible way. So right here we got MGM when the Lion Roars, which is a documentary on MGM. Now we get into my midnight movie, like double and triple features and quadruple features. There's The Attic and Crawl Space, which is a really good one. The Land That Time Forgot, The People That Time Forgot, Panic in Year Zero, and The Last Man on Earth. There's Deranged and Motel Hell, which is a really good double feature. Morons from Space, Alien from LA, The Man from Planet X, and The Angry Red Planet. I don't have many Australian TV shows, to be honest with you. I don't know which ones I got, to be completely honest. I like them, but I just don't have a lot of them. They're harder to find around here. I Bury the Living, Devils of Darkness, Witchcraft, People That Time Forgot on its own, because, I got to have those. And Countess Dracula, The Vampire Lovers, The Beast Within, Bat People, Pit and the Pendulum, Masquerade Death, Premature Burial. I think Premature Burial I've only got on DVD, actually. The Monster That Challenged the World, Invaders from Mars, War Gods of the Deep, Cyborg, Death Warrant, and Double Impact. That's a Van Damme one. We got the Carrie triple feature, and then the triple feature with Broken Lizards Club, Dread, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and Killer Tomatoes Strike Back. Not the easiest one to find, actually. It took me a while for that one. Next up is actually a really cool one. It's Edge of Sanity with Anthony Perkins. I'm a really big Anthony Perkins fan. There's a new Anthony Perkins movie coming out. Oops, I missed that one. From Midnight Movies. Let me do something. I apologize. So, what I normally do, and I forgot to do this time, so let me just turn this thing down, is make sure that I can see your guys' comments by going to the video. Just watch me get an ad now. It's going to be like super loud. Yes. No, 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 I don't want emergency SOS this. Every time I hit on this, it's like, do you want emergency SOS? No, no, I don't. I don't want emergency SOS. I just want to not have to listen to a video before I look at my own channel. It doesn't end well. They don't really have like kind of like a presentation as such. It's just like the kind of the aesthetic of the films. Now, where was I? Oh yeah, whatever happened to Aunt Alice, Spiral Staircase, and Equius. They have some really cool cases. Now, MGM overall, they got some great stuff here. Stuff that you wouldn't expect to come out. We got like Dead Cert, which is a hard one to find. I don't know if I have actually. Actually, Murdersville. I don't know if I've seen that film, to be completely honest with you. I got Species: The Awakening, which is a TV film, I think. Country Practice and Blue Healers. Okay, I'm going to keep those on lookout. First Power, Lord of Illusion, Sinbad, Tank Girl, Shredder, Scarecrows, Dead End, Curse and Curse 2, Rollerball. Gotta turn this thing up there now. The Delta Force 2, Portrait of Jeannie, which actually is pretty good. River's Edge. I love River's Edge. The little girl who lived down the lane was one of those that really creeped me out back in the day. Martin Sheen is really great in that. Folks. Man, I used to have Folks. I don't have that one anymore. Return of the Living Dead, Jeepers Creepers 2. Not quite a fan, but still. Phantom of the Opera. First Power is rocks, man. I love the First Power. I got that here too somewhere, don't I? Yep, over there. Did I forget to say that one? Coffee. Slaughter's Ripoff, I think. Slaughter's Ripoff. I think it's called Slaughter's Ripoff. Can't see it from here. I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, Coolie High, Singing in the Rain, Y Tu Mama Tambien, Blame It on Rio. I saw that in theater. It's got Michael Caine in it, and what's her name again? Michelle Johnson, I think. Gorgeous, gorgeous girl. Oh, that's the movie, Folks? Okay, yeah, I have seen Folks. So I have seen it. Absolute Beginners. It's a Mad, Mad, Mad World. Leviathan, The Great Escape. 2 versions of that, actually. Somebody sent me a version of The Great Escape with features on it that I didn't have in mine. Squirm, The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai, Across the 8th Dimension. The Amityville Confidential. That's the extra Amityville disc that was in the box set that came up from MGM. That didn't, and the features on it didn't get transferred over to the Scream Factory set, so I got it on its own. That's the remake of Breathless with Richard Gere. Of course, Roadhouse, which everybody needs to have in their collection. Absolute Beginners is my better half's one of her favorite films. I will definitely pick those up. I won't pick them up right away because, you know, the big sale coming up right now, but I will be picking them up. And there's Fellini's Roma. So let's go down to the second MGM shelf and see what we got here. So as you can see, we got Revenge of the Ninja, Edge of Sandy all on its own, Howling 2, Your Sister's the Werewolf, Raw Meat, because I got that one a couple times. The Blu-ray is amazing. If you can get that one on Blu-ray, really do. Break-In 2, Electric Boogaloo, and Beat Street, which I grew up the breakdance era. I did do breakdancing badly. Kiss Before Dying, Zapped, Noose Hangs High, which is a Abbott Costello film, Bowling for Columbine, Coffee and Cigarettes. I think that's Jim Jarmusch. After Midnight, I got to get the Blu-ray of that one actually. Silence of the Lambs, Ball of Fire is actually really good. The Great Escape, Valmont, Manhunter, The Defiant Ones, Cyborg, The Hotel New Hampshire. I really love because I really love the book as well. And we got here The Long Goodbye, Blue Velvet. Zap did have a sequel. Yeah, there is a Zap 2. And I think the Willie Ames is in it, but I don't think that it has Scott Baio. I think there's a different actor. The Usual Suspects, The Party, Bestseller, Spaceballs, Fatal Instinct, The Last House on the Left, of course. I don't think it's got a Blu-ray. Bury the Living. If it does, I don't know it. Anything with Stanwyck. I'm a huge Stanwyck fan. Let's see. Once Bitten, Vampire's Kiss. One of the Qatsi films, Bad Influence. Bad Influence is one of the most disappointing things. I actually love the film Bad Influence with James Spader and Rob Lowe. Unfortunately, see that copy of Bad Influence I got? It doesn't work. I put it in my player when I was sick to watch, and unfortunately, it's too scratched up. I bought it at a flea market. It doesn't work. I haven't been able to find Bad Influence since. Hopefully, down the road, I'll find it. There is The Sure Thing, which did work. Class and Secret Admirer. I love both those films. Cold Prey 2, and we're getting into some steelbooks here. There's Dod Snow, Batman Assault on Arkham. Next up is Sucker Punch, and then Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, which is this Shout Factory one. Then we get into some other ones. We got Son of Batman and Glorious Bastards, Hannah, Zoolander, Pitch Black, Chronicles of Riddick. The one next to it, that's the Guardians of the Galaxy one. That's now out of print, I think. Evil Dead, Seven, Skyfall. That one is from Australia. House of Wax, also from Australia. Gone with the Wind, Scarface, Scrooge, The Fast and Furious, Jurassic Park, Casino, X-Men, Days of Future Past. Now, before we get into any more of the regular stuff, let's get completely random. You ready for this stuff? Because there's some different weird stuff here. So Naked Eye is a film that was put out by VVS. It's actually not an easy find now. So this is the actual cover for it. Actually, I don't have that steelbook actually. Sounds awesome. Bloodsport, Action Jackson, Commando, China O'Brien, one of the rare St. Rothrocks I got. I really love St. Rothrock. Oh, you're gonna like Cyborg, I think. Year of the Dragon, yeah. I gotta rewatch that. I actually haven't seen Year of the Dragon in a few years. Hooper, Breaker, of course, Tombstone. The one in the middle, in the skinny one there was Full Metal Jacket. Oh, I love Year of the Dragon. It's just been a long time since I've seen it. Streets of Fire, of course. Run, Lola, Run. Actually, I am looking forward to The Irishman. It's going to be hard to beat. I love that game. I'm a big geek. It's going to be hard to beat that game for me, but I'm looking forward to The Irishman. The Karate Kid, the special edition. The Crimson Pirate. That one there that you can hardly see is a horrible but fun to watch film. Fist of the North Star with Gary Daniels. Then it's Switchblade Sisters, Gotcha, which is actually really fun. If you've never seen Gotcha, it's got a great little song to it too. New Police Story, Dead Bang, which is Don Johnson and who was it? I know that actually porn actor and actually regular actor, Ron Jeremy acted in that one. Some of these are going to seem like real blasts of the past because I have weird tastes, Sculptor. There's Chocolate, Hard Target, Death Wish, Naked Killer. I was really pleased to find that one. It took me a long time to find this one, actually. I don't know if you've ever seen that one or not. Night Moves, which I really like as well. There's the Substitute series, all 4 of them there. I think there's only 4 so far. This one here, this is, who did it? No, I don't think it's Altman. It's Night Moves. This is the one with Lambert as he's a chess master and trying to catch a killer. Now, Naked Killer, this one here is actually, it's a Japanese film. Very different film. Woof. But this is actually one of the first DVDs that I ever bought, and I lost it. So when I came across it again, these are in no order. I got to find a way to put these in. You're not being cheeky at all, dude. These are my miscellaneous that haven't been put in any order yet. You're going to notice that as I go along. Now, my companies and all that are all put in order and all that stuff. But these here, basically what happened is all of these were put in order originally. And then we had a problem with the basement and I had to take everything upstairs, including the shelving and all the movies and stuff like that. So when I put things back down again, I put all the companies and stuff together, but I still haven't got back to getting all the, the genres in order. So I apologize ahead of time for that. So there's a Chuck Norris triple feature. It just has some like cheesy stuff. I think got in a Walmart bin, like The President's Men, that type of stuff. There's Faster, which isn't a bad like movie from The Rock. Hellbound, The Hitman, and Force Vengeance is another Chuck Norris one. So that's kind of these are all kind of action films. Maybe this was originally my action series. Over the Top, which I saw in theater like twice actually. Lara Croft Tomb Raider, Big Trouble in Little China, The Predator. What is that one? Taxi 2, which is a French film. I think they remade Taxi, the original Taxi, actually here with, God, was a Saturday Night Live actor. I can't remember the name now though, guys, sorry. So we got Snakes on a Plane, The Soul Showcase, which is actually pretty cool. It's got like 3 of those films on there. So you got Willie Dynamite, That Man Bolt, and Trick Baby. And right next to it is the Apocalypse Now, the Complete Dossier Edition. I'm trying not to step on this now. Now, we get into some of my my very modest amount of digibooks, which is Man of Steel, Malcolm X, Shawshank Redemption, Mr. Smith, Batman, Doctor Strange, Men in Black, the trilogy, Clash of the Titans, Taxi Driver, The Sting, and Rocky Horror Picture Show. Not a lot of digibooks, but quality digibooks. Willie Dynamite is actually way different than we expected. With the name Willie Dynamite, you kind of expect like this super kind of cheesy, Dolomite blaxploitation film, but it's completely not. It's completely serious, and you don't expect it to go the way it goes. And of course, that is the infamous Nightmare on Elm Street set. Oh, I gotta get Mr. Deeds, I really do. So next up, we've got, okay, this is one of the cheapest I found out. Don't even open it. Young Van Helsing. I'm not quite sure what that is. Kung Fu Hustle, Batman and Robin, that's the serial. King Kong, the Peter Jackson one. I haven't upgraded that one. Star Trek, Arc of Truth. My better half's a huge Star Trek fan. This is a movie that I would love to see get a really good edition. I don't think it has, as far as I know. It's a movie called No Escape. I really like it. I'm not quite sure if, guys remember this one or not, but it's a fun one. It's a fun film. It never really did well. It's just one that I personally enjoyed. Next up is The Bedroom Window. Now that one is that an AC over here, you mean? Yep. No, that's not my AC unit. My AC unit's actually in the other room. That's actually one of those, what do you call them? The things, dehumidifiers. Now, is this The Bedroom Window, the right one? It is. So this is The Bedroom Window, the Steve Gutenberg film. It's actually being put out again now, I think by Kino, which I do have to upgrade because I really do like Bedroom Window. I actually had forgot. Yeah, that's Ray Liotta, No Escape. I like that one. I know it gets ragged on a bit, but I enjoyed it. Next up is Recoil, and I spent a little time in England. It's not that bad there. Hey, Trini. Man, I saw your room. It is epically done up, dude. Love those pictures on Instagram. Repo Man, Swordfish, Serenity. It was awesome. Attack the Fifth Woman, because I like cheesy movies. Dark City. Dark City is a favorite of mine. Yeah, and I think Young Van Helsing is like a really low budgety thing. Young Sherlock Holmes I saw in theater, actually. I really like that movie. Gattaca, Flash Gordon. I really love Flash Gordon. Silent Green. Wicked City is a weird film. Now this is a mini kind of Clint Eastwood section, I think. So we got Dirty Harry, Magnum Force, Sudden Impact, and The Deadpool. I'm missing one of them. What am I missing? Which one am I missing? And then we got the Clint Eastwood, kind of like a Western collection, and then a Clint Eastwood Americans Icon collection. Like that one has Play Misty to Me and stuff on it, and of course Beguiled, which is actually a really underrated Clint Eastwood film. Next up is X-Men, Batman Begins. The Deadpool. Thank you. I love the Deadpool. Damn it, what am I missing? Oh no, I got the Deadpool. No, Deadpool's there. I got the Deadpool. So that's the last one, because that one has like the. I'm missing one though. I know I'm missing one. I think I'm missing the one with the girl from Cagney and Lacey in it. That might be the one I'm missing. But I did at one point have all 5 of them. Begod is extremely downbeat, but it's a fun. It's I don't say fun film. It's a good film. Assault Girls, Punisher Warzone, X-Men: The Last Stand. I hate that film, but it's a film. No, I got Magnum Force. Is that the one that she's in? The Magnum Force got like Mitchell Ryan and Robert Urich in it. The Enforcer. Thank you. Yes, that is what I'm missing. I got to get that, but I want to get like upgrade to Blu-ray anyway. So maybe I'll just, if I can find that one down the road on DVD, I will. Of course, so we got an Executive Decision, Van Helsing. Now this is what's neat about this is my better halves, and this is back when CD Plus was a thing. You can see it's not even open up. So as you can see, this was Van Helsing, but it also had Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Wolfman. So you got like all those films on there as well, and a documentary too. So that was kind of cool. Unbreakable. Let's see if this goes back in this. Okay, there we go. Next up is a classic Western roundup. Jace would like these. High Plains Drifter, Destry Rise Again, Winchester 73, Bend of the River, The Far Country, Night Passage, The Rare Breed, Albuquerque, Whispering Smith, The Duel at Silver Creek, and I think that's Viva. Coogan's Bluff. You know, I haven't seen that one in years. Viva Era. The Stalking Moon is actually underrated. A Minute to Pray, Second to Die, Hang 'em High. I love that movie. The Texan, Once Upon a Time in the West. We got Major Dundee, which is Kubrick. No, sorry. Peckinpah. Young Guns, Lonesome Dove, and Mark of Zorro. And let's see if I can get down low enough to do the bottom shelf. Here we get some more oddities. We got like Taylor of Panama, Kill Bill Volumes 1 and 2, Veritas, which is one that I plan to do like kind of a comedy one of. Next up is Poison Ivy. And then after that is Night Moves, which I love. I love this film. Play Misty for me was one hell of a directorial debut. So next up we got McHugh, Braveheart, Fletch Collection, Memento, Silent Green, The Witches of Eastwick. What is this one called again? Oh yeah, Showdown at the Cotton Mill, which is one of those rare scope ones. Amazons versus Superman, LA Confidential, Dog Day Afternoon, Blood Simple, A Knight's Tale. Next up is Footloose and Flashdance double feature. Gotta have Fletch, man. I saw those in theater. Next is the Vacation, European Vacation, and next is what's it called? This is a really famous French comedy that my better half likes. Le Bronze. The John Candy Collection, THX 1138, Clerks 2, which you got to get for the dance sequence alone. Bill, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Office Space, because I worked in an office and I can relate. Bridget Jones' Diary, The Runaways is actually really, really good. If you've never seen The Runaways, I recommend that. Copland's amazing. I did like LA Confidential though, but Copland I thought was just incredibly well done. Pina, Emily, Porky's, The Ultimate Collection. So some people will enjoy this. This is actually all 3 Porky's films. I got this before I got the Arrow version of Porky's. Midnight's Children, Lost in Translation, My Best Friend's Wedding. A second copy of Clerks 2. Apparently I really like that one. Hate Ship, Love Ship. That must be my better half. I don't know what that is. Anybody know what that is? Hate Ship, Love Ship? I got to see. So my better half had some films before we got together. Uh, but no, we were definitely together when this came out. She must, though, it's Christina Wigg, so she does like her. Next up is a is a 4-pack. Yeah, I got Clerks here too. I'm a huge fan of Clerks, actually. This has the Shelley Duvall, like Tall Tales and Legends series that she put out. Actually, it was kind of hard to find. It's my DVD of Labyrinth, and of course, I must have Corvette Summer. Luke, join me, or you will star in Corvette Summer. Famous MST through Kaylin. Lady in the Water. She actually loves that film. The Meaning of Life, because I'm weird and I love Monty Python. Dr. Horrible Sing Along. I love that as well. What's this one? Somebody gave me this, actually. It's called We Just Have to Cry. Now, I've never seen this movie. I was moving and I was selling some stuff, and this guy bought this TV off me, right? Oh, I always try to keep the DVDs, even if I have the Blu-rays of them. So apparently he made this movie, and I've never actually seen it. 40 years ago, we sent a message to the heavens. Heaven answered back. This could be like Neil Breen good. I got to check this out. Apparently, this movie is 19 minutes long, so it won't take me long to watch it. Neil Breen good. I apologize. That might be good. All About Steve. I don't know what that is. Bridget Jones' Diary. That's definitely my better half's. Short Circuit. That's mine. Death Wish 5. That's definitely mine. Team Canada. Canada's Team of the Century. The 1972 games. You can tell I'm Canadian, huh? Hey, B movie. Casanova and Like Water for Chocolate. Another one that was got by my better half. All right, 4Ks. But before I do that, you guys can see I've got the Thriller collection right there. Oh, nice. Casablanca, John Wayne, John Ford collection, John Wayne film collection, Gangsters, Volume 2, Gangsters, Volume 4. This one is a harder find, which is Gangsters, Guns, and Floozies, and Alfred Hitchcock, The Masterpiece Collection. So here we got the Purge trilogy. I'll go through these pretty fast. Pet Sematary, Christine, It, Halloween, Dracula, Untold, Van Helsing. I know, I'm trying to get more organized, but it's hard, dude. Van Helsing, Mummy, Inception, Dunkirk, Interstellar, Westworld, The Dark Knight trilogy, Mother, Blade Runner, Final Cut, Blade Runner 2049, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Predator. It is a pretty cool set, actually. 2001, Space Odyssey, Lego Batman, Deadpool, Deadpool 2, Logan, Spider-Man, Homecoming, Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Thor, Ragnarok, Black Panther, Avengers, Punisher, Punisher Warzone. Have a good evening there, B-movie. John Wick, John Wick 2, Star Wars, The Last Stand, Solo, Pacific Rim Uprising, Planet Earth, Earth, One Amazing Day, Batman, the 4-pack of DC UHDs, plus Justice League, Murder on the Orient Express, Transformers, whatever, The Last Night, or whatever it was called, Labyrinth, Atomic Blonde, Rampage, Deepwater Horizon, American Made, Tomb Raider, Kingsman, Kingsman 2, Ghostbusters, Ready Player One. I actually really like that film. The Fifth Element, Jumanji, Hacksaw Ridge, American Psycho. And down there, I don't have very many Mystery Science Theaters. You can see I've only got Volume 1, then it skips over and I got Volume like 16, and I've got the 25th Anniversary Edition. It pretty much was the last straw. Mystery Science Theater, The Essentials, that came out before the box sets did. That's the Wild World of Batwoman. That was one of the original Rhino ones that came out. That's the original Sinbad collection. You will fall. You will succumb to 4K sooner or later. The Omen collection, which you still have to have the DVD Omen collection, and I will show you why right now, because it has the 5 Omen movies, because there are 5 of them. There are 5 Omen films. The TV Omen movie, Omen 4, is left off of all the Blu-ray sets. Godfather collection, Lethal Weapon collection. There's a Sonny Chiba set, Roger Corman collection, Latouche, which is a 6 film. I probably pronounced it wrong. The Pusher trilogy. I was really proud to get this, actually. It's Mads Mikkelsen. It's a really good one. Louis de Funès, which cost us a bit of money, but we got that one from my better half. She's a huge fan. Bruce Lee collection. West Side Story. Buddy Holly, La Bamba. Charles Bronson collection. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Shock Treatment. Michael Powell collection. Completely Caroling, so I'm a huge Caroling fan. This is the Twisted Terrors box set, which has The Hand, Eyes of a Stranger, Dr. Giggles, Someone's Watching Me, Deadly Friend. It was the first time the Deadly Friend was shown uncut, actually. And From Beyond the Grave, the Michelle Pfeiffer collection, and the World War II 60th Anniversary collection. Why is this West Side Story so thick? Tell you what, since I have to sit down, at least for a minute, we'll find out why the West Side Story is so thick. So, this is the 2-disc DVD set of West Side Story. When you open it up, you get, first I'll show you the films. You got West Side Story here. This is the, something that a lot of people don't know about me is I'm a huge musical guy. I'm kind of a, when you grow up, you want to act and you do a lot of theater, you kind of become like a song and dance type of guy, even when you can't sing. Has some kind of decent features on here, but the thing that makes this really big is that it has the complete script to West Side Story. So the whole thing is here, the whole shooting script with pictures. This is actually a really cool edition. I haven't looked in this one in a while. Of course, this is the kind of the case thing that is put in. But I always look for editions like this whenever I can find something that has like Grease had one of the editions of Grease too. I think I got it. Was a VHS had the shooting script as well, and it had the songs in it, that weren't in the in Grease the movie. Because if you've ever done Grease on stage, and I did like a couple times, like way too many times, then in different roles. Then you realize really quickly that it's different from the film. The basics are there, but there's different songs as well. Songs that are kind of taken out, and some there's some language that's slightly different than that. So if you're a theater geek like me, if you're a kid that grew up doing plays and theater and that, and you've ever done Grease on off Broadway or at school or something like that, then you realize pretty quickly that there's some different songs here. There's some songs that didn't make it, and you can find that on the. I love Phantom of the Paradise. It is a favorite of mine. Not only does it star one of my great crushes of all time, Jessica Harper, who is definitely one of the tops in my Google Doc list of Aaron's crushes from film. But the music is incredible. Paul Williams does such an amazing job with that. And I'll tell you what's really amazing is that unlike certain musicals, Phantom of the Paradise has to do a whole plethora of different. Hey, I still got to see Hounds of Love. I really do. I've seen like trailers for it. It looks really, really good. So there's like a whole like range of music in Phantom of the Paradise. It's not just like one type, or it's not one style. In Greece, it's like 50s music, and in Saturday Night Fever, it's got like it's disco. But in Phantom of the Paradise, the music changes. Like it starts off with kind of this 50s, this kind of bebop, like bubblegummy style music from that era. But things are changing, times are changing, as you know from the movie, and it moves into this kind of this epic rock opera. And I love the songs in it, and it's really kind of neat because I was watching. What was it? I remember as a kid watching Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys. It was a series used to come on TV back in the day, back in the 70s. And I remember that Paul Williams shows up in like a Halloween episode of the Hardy Boys, and he actually sings that song from Phantom of the Paradise, which actually had some. He must have changed some of the lyrics, because some of the lyrics were like kind of had like, I guess we consider bad words for back then. This isn't the days of HBO. This was like ABC television. But he actually plays one of the songs. So I'm a huge fan of Phantom of the Paradise. I actually have it. I've got the Arrow edition of it. And I think I have a couple editions of it. My oldest, she's an incredible fan of Phantom of the Paradise. It's one of her favorite films, and it is her favorite musical. Do I love Phantom of the Paradise or Obsession more? Obsession is a fantastic film, and Cliff Robertson does a great job, and it does a better Vertigo than Vertigo does. Oh, hopefully you come back there, Wolf. But I say I like Phantom of the Paradise better. Oh, Trini, yeah. Did you get your Arrow package? Because you were waiting for one, weren't you? Have I should know, because I haven't been on Instagram. Not much today, anyway. If I had, I would know this, wouldn't I? If you got it, then I would know this, and it's like on Instagram, because I find yourself on Instagram. Death Game, 1977. Sounds familiar. Who's starting it? Hey, Levins, how's it going? I started off doing like completely random stuff. I did my MGM stuff and my 4Ks, and people got to see what kind of weird action movies I like. And westerns. But I'm not quite sure where to take it from here. Now, if you've seen my videos recently, you know I do tend to have these tour videos go around an hour, 70 minutes, that type of thing. Because I'll be honest with you, when I have to talk and say every movie title and all that type of stuff, I don't mind talking here, but when I'm doing the movie titles and writing them off, my throat goes a lot faster. That's why tonight I made sure to get tea. Yes, I do. Oh, is that the film that got remade as Knock Knock, like with Keanu Reeves? Love the film. I actually love Knock Knock too. I thought Knock Knock was a great reboot, like remake of that film. I thought they did a great job. Can't beat the original. I love Death Games, but I do like Knock Knock too. Man from Hong Kong. Yes, I have, but I, for the life of me, couldn't tell you anything about it right now. I do remember Death Games though. Death Games is always something I thought Vinegar Syndrome would put out, because it's got like a Vinegar Syndrome. Oh, Grindhouse is putting it out? Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to need that. I'm not going to lie. I'm a big fan of that. I like that genre of film. These kind of cool films. Did Crown put that one out? Was that a Crown International picture? It seems like it would be a Crown picture. It may not be a Crown picture, but it just seems like something that Crown would do. But yeah, as you guys know, I am, my Twitter handle, it's Mr. Vincent. I love that style of film. For me, you can't get enough of that stuff. I'm trying to figure out, and maybe you guys can help me here. So, I'm guessing most of you guys here are probably going to be partaking in the Vinegar Syndrome sale, right? Okay. So, does anybody have any kind of idea? And I'm trying to figure it out, where the cutoff point is going to be for the 50%. Like, is it going to be like obviously it's starting in May. So it's obviously not going to be May, and you're not going to get April. Probably not even going to get March. But it's going to be like maybe like February or January. You're going to get like those films being ones that you can actually get. I love Brian Trenchard Smith. I'm huge. He's great when it comes to February and back. I got a lot of the February. I can see I got January and February most of their titles. So I'd say like December and back is where I got to start going from. Just got to ask the question there, and I got to check on this because I don't have this open up anymore. Let's open it up because whoa, okay, this goes fast, man. The Vinegar Syndrome shipped to the UK. Yes, they do. Scott and Scholar, there. Thank you. Uninvited yet? You do need the uninvited. It's Graydon Clark's best film that they've put out, in my opinion. It's insane. It's got Clu Gallagher and Monster Cat. So now the shipping, will be different, but I find that Vinegar Syndrome shipping overall is pretty reasonable, and from the videos I've watched online from people that get stuff from the UK, because I've been watching a lot of Vinegar Syndrome Black Friday and halfway to Black Friday haul videos recently. 24th to the 27th, Murderville. This is their big, they have two big sales a year. There is the halfway to Black Friday sale, which is coming up. According to their website, I could go by what they're saying. They're saying that this halfway to Black Friday sale is going to be one of the best and biggest sales that they have ever had on their, in their site in the last, like, what's it, 6 years or so they've been out now. So I'm pretty excited about that. Did they confirm? I was wondering. They were kind of like, keep an eye out. Is that what the Vinegar Syndrome artwork thing is? The VSA? A couple of my favorite Vinegar Syndrome titles. Incubus stands out. That was a really good one. I love The Uninvited, actually, which is one that was just mentioned. I thought that was a lot of fun. There's a few. I mean, like I got weird taste though. Like some stuff that I might like, you may not like. I like A Woman's Torment. Now that was a film done by Roberta Findlay. That is an X-rated film, but it has a decent story to it, and the actress just has this kind of enigmatic quality to her. We don't know which ones are going to have those slips, or how limited it is. So it's kind of a. Incubus is real. I thought it was really good. It's got John Cassavetes and John Ireland. It's got a great cast. It's of course it is based off of the book, the Incubus book. But if you've read the book, don't let that think of that going in, because it does its own thing. Even who the Incubus is different from the novel. So that's not really a spoiler. Just know that it's not going to be the same person that was in the Incubus novel. And like Cassavetes likes to his acting style is real. It's raw. So when Cassavetes is doing stuff, he likes to rework his lines, and sometimes people's lines around him, to make them seem more fresh and more like it's actually people talking, and not reading off of the script. Cassavetes got a really different way. Did you like A Woman's Torment? Did you watch it, Jesse? Did I steer you wrong with that one? It is a different film. Like I do always try to tell people, it's a different film. It's Repulsion. Oh, excellent. It's just one that I've always found good. Now they did put out another Roberta Findlay one, not an X-rated one, but they put out I guess it was The Lurkers and Primeval. I think is a double feature, which is a fun one. Demon Wind, cheesy fun too. A Deadly Blessing. There's an underrated film. I think Deadly Blessing was underrated even by the director himself. It's all over the place. It's a film that is kind of all over the place. But that's what Cassavetes always did. But I think, out of many of the films that Cassavetes did, I do think that he worked with the director really hard on Incubus. I would love to see didn't they put out Tenement? No, probably not. But you can see that Cassavetes put a lot of work himself into Incubus. So it's got more of a, this feels more Cassavetes than some of his other films would be. Yeah, it is all over the place. I actually like the mystery aspect of it. I didn't mind like how it went in the end. There's a couple of scenes that were kind of like freaky to me because I mean I'm an arachnophobe, so you know there's that scene right with his Sharon Stone. It was only like I think it was a couple years later. I do need that documentary. That I realized that the girl from Deadly Blessing, like cause you know there's a few girls in it, but one of the girls is actually Patty Simcox. So speaking of the movie Grease, right? Remember Grease? Well, you know the one with her, you know, with the ponytail and like the really, you know, running for student president. That Patty Simcox from Grease. That's the girl from Deadly Blessing. That's the same actress. I watched it like a couple of times and it was killing me. Like I knew that actress from somewhere and I could not place her. But that's where it was from. It was from Greece. Because, you know, she didn't have her hair up in a ponytail. She looked different. She was a little bit older. She still looked great. She looked hot as hell, but still, I didn't recognize her. But yeah. So what's the top on everybody's list right now? So I want to know if you're going to get the Vinegar Syndrome, like something from Vinegar Syndrome, do you have a top on your list? The ending was different. Yeah, yeah, I agree. Secret titles? I don't know what the secret titles are. I really don't. Like some people think they're pretty sure what the horror one is, but I don't know. And I don't keep up with, I guess, the forums, like Buru.com, stuff like that. So I'll put in like, every once in a while, can I tell you something honestly that I'll do? I will put in like a random question. And it can be like the dumbest question on Blu-ray, on a forum site. Could be Blu-ray.com or one of those sites, just to see if I get an answer. To see like how friendly is this site? How friendly are the people on the site? And I'll make it something pretty simple. To see if anybody's going to like answer me or just going to be snarky or that type of thing. Maybe it's a dick thing to do, but I just want to see what that way it kind of lets me know what the sites are like. Depends on the cutoff point. Well, somebody there said it's probably going to be February. Are you really going to do it, Trini? You're going to be able to cut back when they're bringing it like slips and everything? God, it looks so weird when I did that. I'm Blood Harvest. Yes, okay. That would definitely be in the Satan's. See, I'm getting the indicator set. I would definitely get Satan's Slave down the road, but it's not going to be like one of the that I'm going to grab for this month. I do think that indicator set is going to affect some people because some people that I knew, man, they were set. Like the Norman J. Warren stuff, they hadn't got them, so they were like, okay, I'm getting Bloody New Year. I'm going to get you know this. But does Pet still have the slip cover on it? Like that can make a difference. Tell you what, let's do what we used to do. Let's go to my Vinegar Syndrome section. Okay, are there any Vinegar Syndromes that I got that you guys are curious about? So here. So if it says the slip cover, this is the slip to Pets. It's actually one of the better slips. You can see it has a kind of a gloss on it here. So slip sold out. Okay. So what you're gonna get, it's this. I don't have Mausoleum. I missed out on that one, so I might get the standard. So this is Pets. I think it has the same features, but you can check right there. So if you got the 88 Films one, there's this got a newly restored 2K scan, Brotherly Love, an interview with Mike Cartel, who was the actor and production assistant on Pets, and there's an alternate One Night Stand title sequence, archival still gallery trailer, reversible cover, and of course English, subtitles. When you open it up, this is what you get, and this is your alternate artwork to Pets. So if anybody has any questions about any of the Vinegar Syndrames that I got, or there's ones that you're thinking about getting, and you just want to ask me, okay, I don't have the slip for Wonder Woman. I actually got that one at a store. I have no idea why Wonder Woman is out of print, by the way. I've got it here. So just hold on a second. I'll find it for you. And I think you're right. I think it is the same artist. So see, the one I got does not have a slipcover. So did it only have a slipcover? Because I got this in the store, and there was no slipcover when I got it. But this is a Ross Hagen like one with like kind of like. Well, they got a really good edition of it with the. Now, when you buy the uninvited, like I think there's still a slip for that, but this is the uninvited without the slip. This actually has 2 edits of the film on here, so just so you know, there's like the original edit, and there's a 93-minute director's cut. What's cool about the uninvited is you're getting a cool, crazy cover no matter which way you go. So that's the uninvited. Now, if you're grabbing Incubus, I'm not sure if the cover's still there. I don't think the slip is still available, but still, you're going to get this, and this actually looks pretty cool. You know, a lot of cool features on here. The ones that are still, I'm just trying to see if there's ones here that I got that are still available. I don't think the ones I got are. Maybe the Killing Kind. If you guys are interested in like kind of a more low key, kind of a serious one, this is the Killing Kind. It's an odd film for Vinegar Syndrome. It's really good. It's got like John Savage and Ann Sothern and Cindy Williams from Laverne and Shirley. I'm not joking. It really does have Cindy Williams. I'm not sure if this one's still available, but this has an awesome slip. This is the Dayglow cover for Orchard of the Dead. Just a huge fan of that. I'm trying to find ones here that I think you guys might be interested in. I always say this is an underrated one that people forget about. Malibu High. This is a recommendation for me. This is not a teen sex comedy a la Porky's like a lot of people think it is. This is way more serious. It goes into like drama action territory, and like it's got the nudie quote and stuff like that, but it also has like try not to give too much away, but it's actually really cool. Exactly. That cover, Jesse, is so not at all what Malibu High is. It pretty much is the complete opposite. Jack Frost is really fun. I've watched Jack Frost a few times actually, and you're not going to go wrong with Jack Frost. This because you know it's going to be in circulation during your Christmas watches. It's like when you go to Mon Macabre, you got to pick up Don't Open Till Christmas because you want it in your Christmas horror collection. Jack Frost is perfect for for the Christmas horror stuff. If you don't have that one, like there's a lot of early stuff. Like I'm looking at some of the early stuff as well and some limited slips that I don't have. But I do want to finally get like a couple of the more adult titles that I don't have. The ones that I think do, if you collect film and you don't mind adult cinema, and like ones that actually have stories that you do want in your collection. And for me, like I like Bob Chin's work. Like he's the director for it, and he does like really good like kind of comedic adult stuff. But I do want Taboo because that's one that I it's an early one that I saw. I was a huge fan of it, and it actually has a decent story and acting to it, which has some character building. Which is odd to say, like, because it is the type of film that it is, and the genre that it's in. Not a lot of people collect those. I would like to also probably grab my first couple like Peak-O-Ramas. Did you guys hear what they're doing with Peak-O-Rama, by the way? That they're kind of relaunching the series, and with new films, and it's going to have like a numbering, and they're going to be doing something different with it. It's going to come out, and it's going to show for the first time, I think, during the sale. So it's not going to be part of the limited edition or the monthly stuff, but I heard that it's coming out around that time. So I'm interested in seeing what comes there. Like, even if you're not interested in the films or that genre themselves to collect, it's still interesting to see what they're going to do with it. Because them doing something with this, that could also mean that something could eventually be done with their kind of overlooked drive-in collection. July. Are they talking about the July titles already? They just sold the June ones. But the June ones were different. I mean, I was really surprised with the June titles from Vinegar Syndrome. They didn't seem Vinegar Syndrome. You know what I mean? They seem different. And I kind of like that. I mean, they're going in some different directions. Now, we can't, like, for people that love horror, for instance, we really can't complain. But because, they've been doing it like crazy. Unfortunately, Solitary, we're not going to get Vinegar Syndrome doing any Russ Meyer. We're not going to get any company doing any Russ Meyer in the near future unless something happens with the people that own it. Rights issues are insane. I don't know, actually. I don't have a lot of like Code Red. I don't think I got the one you're talking about. But somebody here will be able to tell you. I'm sure there's somebody here with Code Red that'll be able to tell you that one. See, the problem is that the company, the people, Russ Meyer's family, the estate of Russ Meyer's, own the rights to all his films. So you see that like really cool looking box set behind me, that Arrow Video put out. So that's the last time anybody got their hands on any Russ Meyer stuff. After that, Russ Meyer estate, they made them like take the box set out of circulation. That's why it's so expensive now. If you want to buy any Russ Meyer Blu-rays or any of that stuff, you got to buy pretty much like bare bones, done by the estate of Russ Meyer's. Me and Murderville, we got the sets. And it's one of the most looked at things. Like, obviously, it stands out. Exactly, Solitary, it's the thing, but we're not going to get anything else except from the Russ Meyer estate. And I'm not going to lie to you, it peeves me that they won't. Like, apparently, like, different companies have gone to them, and the amount that they're asking for them it's insane. Because Russ Meyer is a really good director. Like, people like just see the boobs and they forget. But if you actually watch the Russ Meyer films and the cinematography and the work, some of them they're crazy films. But he is actually a very good director, and he's got a really good eye. Oh yeah, I gotta get the October package. A box set, please. I want Night Eyes, man. I know it's not gonna be Night Eyes, but I want Night Eyes. I want that box set. I want the Night Eyes quadrilogy. Yeah, it was cheap for me. See, I bought that set. It was the very first thing I ever bought on Amazon UK. And I don't know if it was just before it sold out or something, so they were selling them off for fairly cheap. There was like a sale. So I think I paid maybe like £20, if that, for that set, which I think is really good, right? 15, £20, somewhere around there. It was like really, really cheap. I bought it, and I bought the Aerodrome Gates of Hell set for like $7.50 at the time, like in British money, in the UK money. What did I say? British UK. I don't know what to say anymore. The whole Brexit thing. Please stop Brexit. So there's not going to be any like problems when I go traveling. I don't want like issues when I travel to London and want to go to Paris and stuff like that, because that's going to be my go-to place. Like once we move to Morocco, if I want to go like shopping and like go for films and stuff like that, like I can get movies in Morocco and that, but a lot of them are French. You don't want Brexit. Trust me, you don't want. You don't. Do you really? Because see, most of the people that I know from over there are extremely like are not, they didn't actually vote for it, or they voted in jest type of thing. Like, I don't get political. I don't like getting political into any of that type of stuff. I just want your opinion because you're over there, man. I don't know this stuff as well as you. Uh, like, I can just give you my thoughts. I am nervous for Ireland. That is, obviously. Um, I'm, I'm 48, and I remember the IRA and like all that stuff that went on before, like you kind of got rid of the line, and now that invisible line is going to be like in place again. You know what I mean? And that's going to cause problems. That does concern me. That's something that does concern me. Anyway, enough politics stuff. Just a thought. I just like getting different opinions. But anyway, so what was that? Vinegar syndrome. Vinegar syndrome. I talk about them a lot, don't I? One of these days, maybe one of these days, guys, they'll send me like a T-shirt or something, and you know, and I'll be like, look, all this vinegar syndrome talk is paid off. It has in a way. I mean, I do get to talk on one of my favorite podcasts about vinegar syndrome, but I don't. I've yet to have them like say, yes, we really like that you're promoting us. Here's a hoodie or a T-shirt. I like a hoodie. I would love a vinegar syndrome hoodie, actually. Or at least public relations. Hot and Saucy's. I love that film, Jesse. Do you have it? I got it in the. If you got the 5 years collections, volumes 1 and 2, they're actually really good. Hot and Saucy Pizza Girls by Bob Chin is on that, and that's why I want like more like of his work, because his stuff is really good. They actually have stories, like of course there's the other stuff, but some of the early stuff were done in film in such a way that if you took it like any of the adult scenes, they're actually good films. And Hot and Saucy Pizza Girls is actually a really good film. It stands the test of the time with some of the other sexploitation films of its genre, in my opinion. It's silly fun. There's a lot of films like that. There's what's it called? Abduction of a Playgirl, which is one I really want to get. Actually, it's a comedy one, and it's on with a completely different film, which is Winter Heat, which is kind of a rougher one with Jamie Gillis. But Jamie Gillis is amazing. Oh, have a great evening. Hopefully, we'll keep our fingers crossed that they have common sense and we see Russ Meyers in the future from Vinegar Syndrome or a company like that. Wouldn't that be awesome if like October came and it was like a Russ Meyer box set? Like, how many of us would be out there like getting that? Me, I would. Me, I would upgrade my Russ Meyer box set in a second, and that's a damn good box set. Like, Murdersville can tell you that is an awesome set. But I would love a Blu-ray set for Russ Meyer. I haven't seen Fanny Hill, Brian. I don't think I've seen that one, to be completely honest with you. That's probably the only one that I haven't seen. Is it a good film? Like, from what you've seen of it? Because it's one I know little about. Like, I can give you like Vixen, for instance. That's one of my favorite Russ Meyer films. Just something I liked about that film. And I like the actress in it too. She was really good, and she's not like a likable character. I think that's one of the things that I enjoy, is that she's overtly, she is not likable, but she really pulls it off, right? Exploiting a period film. I want to get it. I'm not sure if it's going to be at this sale. I mean, if I see Fanny Hill, I think there's another film with her, right? It's like a double feature sort of, and it's got like, and it has like, it's like $10 Canadian, something like that. Maybe I'll grab it then. It'll really depend. But there's a few in the early ones. Does anybody have any recommendations for the early stuff? Like people tell me that that there's certain ones I should pick up. People always say the telephone book. You know, I won't regret it if I get the telephone book, Phantom Gunslinger. I don't think I've seen that one either. So there's two Russ Meyer films that I haven't seen: Fanny Hill and Phantom Gunslinger. I've seen everything else in his filmography except for those. But I do kind of want the Andy Milligan ones, which is that's what I keep hearing. I hear the telephone book is really good, and Jesse, that's a movie that I thought I'd seen, but I haven't. I have not seen the telephone book. It's one that I really am kind of interested in, even though it has kind of like it's a pretty black cover, like it was before they got all fancy. But I'm guessing that one's going to be pretty cheap. Now, they put out an Andy Milligan double feature, which is Seeds and Vapors, right? So, would I be correct in concluding, I don't know if anybody here has it, they can let me know, so I got this Something Weird Andy Milligan double feature. I got it at Bay Street Video when I was in Ontario. So that's the Ghastly ones and Seeds of Sin. Now, isn't Seeds of Sin like Seeds, or like a version of Seeds? Obviously, this is not going to be in the quality of because this is like a work print of Seeds of Sin. Yes. Oh, I love Jonathan Ross. Because I can't find them to buy, I do have somewhere, through nefarious purposes, I've got all the Jonathan Ross TV shows. You know, the Incredibly Strange film and the Son of Incredibly Strange film and Japanorama, I think was called, something like that, that he did. And there's another one too. But I really like his stuff. I love Andy Milligan stuff. The first one that I got in my collection was actually, you know, aside from that one, is on Blu-ray, is The Flesh Pot on 42nd Street. I'm not going to lie, I strongly recommend that film. It's really, really well done. It is an adult film, but it does not come off as an adult film. There are a couple sequences in it. Andy Milligan didn't really kind of like, I guess, the adult genre, sort of. So he really doesn't play into it. He plays more into the story aspect of those films. He never plays into to the adult aspect of it. You know, the characters matter for him. Gotta check my phone. Nope, I did not get that call. Maybe that's a good sign. I remember like the episode that he did on, oh God, what was it? On the Santo films. Now, those are films that I would love to have. My better half's a huge fan of those old like El Santo films. You know, wrestling guy. I think it'll sell out sooner than that. I think once people realize exactly how good this film is, it's going to be one of those that's going to be a bit of a slow burn at first. But it's a good one. And not only that, you got like, I think it's got a Sam Deegan, Heather Drain commentary on it as well. So that's a selling point for me. That those two do good commentaries. X-rated stuff doesn't always sell out fast, but you can never tell with some of their stuff. I mean, it took forever for Cutthroats to sell out, and I still think people that didn't get Cutthroats, that was a good one. It was weird, but it was fun. It was a fun film. Now they did put out Cutthroats on the Blu-ray when it came to, I think, Volume 4 of the exploitation one. Well, like Cutthroats was on it, but it was definitely like a good one to pick up. I'm surprised with Darkroom. I mean, I don't know, like what it was about Darkroom that made it like sell out the way that it did, but it did. I mean, it definitely sold out. Darkroom did incredibly well, and good for it. I mean, like, it's a slasher film, sort of. There's a couple that I'm interested. Disconnect that I'm interested in. I'm hoping Disconnect is going to have a decent price, because I don't have that one. I hear good things about Disconnected, because it is a slasher film. I kind of want to get Star Time, Now that's Michael Gerard. He played Elvis on TV, like in a miniseries and in a subsequent TV series afterwards. I'm pretty sure he did, because it looks like him anyway. It looks like the guy that played Elvis. Anyway, so there's a movie called Star Time, and let me know if you guys have it. And it's got this mask, and it looks like this kind of like this baby doll mask. And not gonna lie, it creeps the hell out of me. It really does. It's actually one of the reasons I don't have it in my collection yet. Is this because that's one creepy ass mask. Uh, that's the truth. I mean, the cover freaked me out for Star Time, and then I watched the trailer, and it was weird, man. Like it looked cool, but it looked weird, but in a good way, a good weird, not like in a bad like I'm not gonna like this weird, but in a this is an odd film. This could be kind of a cool ride type of thing. Blood Hook is like top in my list right now, ones that I want to get during the sale. Obviously, I can't get this limited edition slip, that's gone. But I've always wanted to own Blood Hook in its uncut form. It's just one of those cheesy films that appeals to me. It is weird, and it is super insane. I think it might be Shockwaves approved. Is Blood Hook Shockwaves approved? If anybody like listens to Shockwaves, I'm not quite sure if Shockwaves approved or not. But I'm pretty sure it'll be Aaron approved. I still got to watch the Just the Disc just dropped a podcast yesterday, like a Western podcast. So that's actually going to be kind of cool. I think it's their first one. See, that's going to kill me because I want to get as many. I told my better half this year I was trying to get like I don't have my budget is limited, but I'm trying to get as many as big of a haul as I can possibly get. Shockwaves the podcast. Eric Kane, who does the Pure Cinema podcast, which I know you listen to, and he also does Shockwave. It's the Shockwaves podcast with Eric Kane, Rob Galuzzo, who also works with on Just the Disc, and Rebecca McKendry, and of course Ryan Turek from Halloween, the new Halloween film. But sorry, I got distracted there for a second. Redheads that like horror. That you know, that when I was young, when I was in college, that was my weakness. Redheads that liked horror. I'm not even lying. That's true. That was like my college weakness. Yeah, they did like their the last one that Just the Disc did. They did it on like let me just check. I'll check for you because I haven't listened to it myself yet. I really got to listen to it. For a few dollars more, Kino. So they did one on the for a few dollars more. And Brian, I don't think he's done one on that yet. It- I wonder if anybody's ever thought about doing like there probably is like a podcast like on westerns, like on western films. AGFA. Yeah, I saw that actually. Um, AGFA did a few films with did a few films with Vinegar Syndrome back in the day. I remember Night of the Strangler. I don't have that one actually. It's a DVD. But I remember Night of the Strangler was a co-production between AGFA and Vinegar Syndrome. Yeah, not sure if anybody has that one. It's one of the earlier ones. But I remember that Vinegar Syndrome put it out and had AGFA down the bottom, like on it too, because it's one that they did together. Oh, also, make sure to look through because Vinegar Syndrome also carries non-Vinegar Syndrome titles on their site as well, and sometimes those go on sale during during these sales. Now, I'm going to be focusing on Vinegar Syndrome titles. Though there's a couple though that would tempt me. I'm like, I want to get like it's a Vinegar Syndrome like sub-label with Etiquette Pictures. I want to get American Dreamer. I think that's going to be almost a certainty on my list because I do like documentaries and Dennis Hopper's kind of the man. I do like his stuff, so that one's there. Does anybody have American Dreamer? Kind of like give me like a yay or nay on whether it's something I got to grab soon. Because it is getting low, like in the print run of it, and they're not redoing it. You got American? Is it good, Jesse? Because the thing is that it's getting low. and they've already stated they're not reprinting American Dreamer or any of the Etiquette Pictures releases. So when they're gone, they're gone. That's it. They're not coming back. And I do love documentaries. That's something I can watch documentaries over and over again. You have no idea how many times I watched those Video Nasty documentaries that Severin put out. It was put out in the UK by a different company, I think. But I watch those over and over again. I love, like, I can go watch documentaries. $10. If it's $10, I'm definitely getting it. Did he direct it? I didn't know that he directed. I know it's about Hopper, and it's. I think you mentioned it before that you'd seen it like in a theater, right? But it just really intrigues me because it's Hopper at a time when he would he'd been blown up a bit, and he was at it kind of at his weirdest. So I think of it as like a great compliment to the last movie. You know, kind of go together with those two. And if you want to put upon a triple feature, Some Call It Loving. I don't know anything about that one. I know the one you're talking about. That's a good release. This is where, guys, where I need to get help from you, because there's so many of these titles, like these early. Some of these I don't know. But I'll be honest. Like, after this video, what I'm doing right now is I'm going back and I'm watching, like, so anybody who's got Vinegar Syndrome hauls online, Screamcast. I gotta get. I haven't. Is there a new? There hasn't been a new Screamcast one in a while, because I know the guy that does them, like one of the guys that does them anyway. He's been doing some some audio books and that, so he's been like kind of really going into that. So I don't know if they're going to be doing Screamcast. They're doing Screamcast without him, because I really like that. I mean, like, Screamcast was a really good podcast. The ones I would listen to like on a regular basis, I would listen to Just to This, Pure Cinema, Screamcast, and Shockwaves. And there'd be the other ones I found are like Projection Booth and stuff like that I found afterwards. And there's so many. But Screamcast, like Just to This, was one of my favorites. And they kind of went the way. That's how I found out about Stephanie Crawford. And it was like just perfect. It's like Screamcast was good, and then Stephanie Crawford came in, and it was excellent. And every time that I listen to Just to This, and I know that like Steph's gonna be on it, or I hear like Rob Galuzza, then I know it's gonna be it's the one I'm gonna listen to. Hopefully, when you guys hear me on Just to This, that's one that you listen to. I haven't listened to that one, actually. I got a few like Criterion, like ones from Criterion, one kind of like queued in my podcast, in my bunch of like podcasts I need to listen to. Lately, I'll be honest with you, I used to like listen to like one or two podcasts a night before I fell asleep. I had like this long bout of insomnia. But in the last couple weeks, I've actually been falling asleep on a normal basis. So that's cut out on the amount of podcasts I can listen to at night. I got like something about Mary style hair right now, just whoosh. And I'm kind of digging it. I'm actually kind of digging it a bit. Not gonna lie, I was like, yeah, I kind of dig that. But yeah, I've been like, I like Massage Parlor Murders. It depends, Jesse. Massage Parlor Murders, it's exactly what you think it's going to be. It is murders at massage parlors. It's we're getting older, Brian. We're getting older. But it's if you like the scenery, if you like like New York during that time era, it's definitely a postcard for for that era, New York. I think. Let me check. I think that one has a booklet too. with it as well. Like there's a few Vinegar Synonyms that have booklets. Not a lot, but a few. You don't need to see me that up close. But I've got Massage Parlor Murders here, so let me just check it for you. So this Massage Parlor Murders, now this is before they had like actual. But yeah, it does. So it's got a booklet. There's no like extra cover with this one, but it's got a booklet and it's got one of those like shooting things right there, scene things. Who did the booklet on Massage Parlor Murders? See if I can find it for you. Chris Spagoli. So it's only a small booklet, like a 6-page booklet. Massage Parlor Murders is a film done in New York. There's some great scenes of New York in Massage Parlor Murders. I know how you can think, it's Japanese, but actually no, it's a. And this is the booklet. So if you get it, you get a booklet with it. That's a plus always. Feature-wise, not a lot. I don't think there's anything. Like it is all region, just so you know. Still, guys, I say I know you're gonna be tired of me saying this, but when it comes to, still telling you, this one right here, one of these days it's gonna sell out. You're gonna be sad you didn't get it. Blood Mania, Point of Terror. Like how many? Like 3 disc sets does Vinegar Syndrome have? Actually, they did say. Somebody actually said that it was confirmed that they're doing Vinegar Syndrome slips. So I'm gonna take the guess that Vinegar Syndrome's VSA that they mentioned is actually the slips. Yes. See, Pete Carpenter. You got to go with Pete Carpenter, right? Diane Thorne, Ilsa has kind of like a decent role in that one there. There's a couple like comments go past me by there. Some of the order non-sub. Yes, some of the order non-subtitles I want to get as well. I don't have Death Row Game Show. I have it on DVD. I really like that film. I know it's super cheesy, but it's super fun. But all the ladies love Pete Carpenter. I still don't have. I don't think I got Witch Trap either. So that's the only Linnea Quigley one I don't have. So that's probably one on this one. I do have like a few. I need Welcome Home, Brother Charles, with MMA. That's probably going to be definite. I need to up my blaxploitation game. Strongly need to up my blaxploitation game when it comes to the Vinegar Syndrome stuff. So there's a couple ways I can go about with that. So for me here in Canada, if I got it correct, most of the blaxploitation, like the Candy Tangerine Man, is another one with Lady Coco. That's another great one. Good film. I think they're remaking that one, Jesse. And it is actually a really fun film. I don't own it. I've seen it, but I don't own it, and that's on my list too. It's on this iPad, so I can't really go to my list. Humor Tornado. There's Humor Tornado, Disco Godfather, Petey Wheatstraw. Which I think I'll have fun with Witch Trap. Like I've watched like the cheesy like Murder Weapon, and those are pretty bad, but I've watched them a few times. I like them. I do want. I'm not sure if it's in February or not, but I'm not sure what month it was in. I'm hoping it's going to be in the 50% off. I've got a couple left to watch actually in the Columbia Noir films. But what was I saying there now? Murder Weapon is fun. Not only that, you get the star of I can't remember his name right now, but the star of Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. He's in that. Because there's Murder Weapon, right, and Deadly Embrace. That's the two of them. Deadly Embrace, I think, is the one with Jan Vincent. She is, and she's a big part of that film. I kind of want to watch them tonight now. I kind of do actually. Last night, obviously, if I'm not sure if you were on my Instagram or my Twitter, I actually did like little videos last night because I was too tired to make like a YouTube video. So I actually sat here and I talked about like House on Haunted Hill from Scream Factory. I recommended it for people that didn't have it, and the Dragnet, like Scream Factory, Shout Select Blu-ray. Those, if you don't have them, strongly recommend both of those. And watch archival features, really, especially for Dragnet, like insanely great. Um, are there any Vinegar Syndrome titles that I don't like? Not that I got. I can honestly say that Vinegar Syndrome is one company that I easily blind buy from because, and I think this is kind of, maybe this is why there's so much Vinegar Syndrome talk on my channel too, is I feel like as a company, Vinegar Syndrome gets me. Like they have completely eclectic styles of films. Like I haven't seen Cold the Night, but like as far as like the films that I got so far, I don't think I can think of anyone that I just didn't like. Now, the one that was the hardest to sit through for me, and Brian knows this, was Wacko. When I originally got it, I did like it better on subsequent viewings, but the first time that I sat through Wacko, it kind of took a while. No, actually, no, I didn't mind Hobgoblins. It's Rick Sloan, right? That's like is well produced one. You know, I think Blood Theater. He did like in like student was a student film with Mary Warnoff, and then after that he did The Visitants, and then it was like Hobgoblins. That was kind of a slicker film. But no, actually, I don't mind Hobgoblins. But I think Wacko was the hardest to get through for me, to be completely honest with you. Oh yeah, speaking of steelbooks, I guess I should let you know. I'm not because I'm saving for the Vinegar Syndrome sale, but Shout Factory, I think they're still having uh, like a steelbook sale on right now, like Shout Factory, Scream Factory on the website. I think there's a steelbook sale going on there. See, Hobgoblins, I think a lot of people really love Hobgoblins because a lot of us are Mystery Science Theater fans. It's a great episode of Mystery Science Theater, and you get the warm fuzzies for that. And it's such a crazy film that you can't help but have fun with it. You can riff it yourself. It's just one of those films. It's never boring. I never get bored with a lot of these films. That's the thing. If a movie, the worst thing a movie can do is bore me. You can be low budget, you can have horrible acting, you can have Z-grade special effects, you can have a monster that's made out of paper mache, but if you entertain me, that's fantastic. If you can have the highest budget in the world with the greatest actors, and are they really? I'm not surprised actually, but. Good warning, Jesse. That's a good warning for people that are looking in that sale. But yeah, if you bore me, that's it. Like I'm out. It's when I get a book, for instance, when I read like the first page of the book, page or two of the book, but a good book, like the first paragraph or so, it'll catch you there, and you'll go, the journeys will go on from there. For me, movies, you got to catch me. Yeah, it is the greatest sin for a film. It is, do not, don't bore your audience. Challenge your audience. I mean, you can have something that's long and is challenging, and it can hard, but don't have something that's going to bore you. And I've seen most of the movies that have bored me over the years. They've usually been higher budget films. It's very few low budget films that really out and out bore me. I can give you one right now. There's an anthology film. Oh God, I cannot remember the name of it right now, but I showed it in my last video. It was and it actually had a small role in it for Tom Savini, the poor guy. But it was an anthology film, and it was bad. It was like really bad. I own it in my collection. It's so bad. I gotta have bad movies in my collection, and this one is horrible. And I want to look at it and say, okay, I got this movie. Uh, I don't. I try not to go with low. I do sometimes. I'm not gonna lie to you, Jesse. I do certain films that are like, I'm not quite sure, uh, and sometimes for me that'll heighten the experience of the movie is better than I thought. I don't know. Like I think that's different though, because I don't think those films are actually boring. Because let's just say it's a slower paced movie doesn't have to be boring, because you could be like studying it from like a technical standpoint. Uh, like I don't find like I'm not a huge fan. Like there's I love Stanley Kubrick, right? Barry Windham is not one of my favorite films, but I would never consider it like actually an overly boring film, because like although I'm not invested as much into the plot of the film, I am invested into like the lighting and the cinematography because I'm that type of film geek. So even though it's doesn't engage me on a way like say some of my the lower budget stuff does, it engages a different aspect of my of my love of cinema. Really? Yeah, I do love Network. And a lot of that, like I got like kind of the warm fuzzies with Network, basically because when I was doing up back in the day when I was acting, and you had to do up a tape basically, and within the tape you would do like different monologues. I knew you did actually. That's why I mentioned it. To be honest with you, yeah. So I did like one of the monologues I did was from Network, and it's the obvious one. I did a monologue for Network. I did a monologue from Rocky. I did one from Saturday Night Fever. I, you try to be kind of multifaceted when you're putting out a tape. You want to get your best foot out there. The tape days. Yeah, I put in so many tapes, so many like different soap operas back in the day. Um, I can understand that. I mean, I can. I mean, it's like every movie's not for everybody. Like Brian loves Barry Lyndon. Barry Lyndon is one that I can watch, I can study, but as a technical standpoint, I can't uh, get into it as like as the storyline like some people can. Like Brian, he gets it. He gets Barry Lyndon. That's kind of his thing. For me, I get like I love it I love the cinematography of Barry Lyndon. I love the way the lighting's done. I like the way the camera works done, stuff like that. But it's not. It's definitely like low on my Kubrick list. One that a lot of people don't really talk about with Kubrick a lot is Lolita. And I really like Lolita, and I think that's a great performance by Peter Sellers too. Great kind of scary performance by Sellers in Lolita. It's very different for him, and I really like that. Yeah, right there. English Patient. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Not a fan. Not a fan of the English Patient. Never have been. I know it's a classic film. A lot of people love it, and good for them. All the power to you. It's not, it's not a film for me. But I like. That being said, I like Blood Harvest. Right? See, there's the thing, right? We're on different sides. Like for me, Lolita is is like a higher one, and I think it's way underrated because of it doesn't have the flash that a lot of Kubrick's pictures has. It does deal a lot more with the with the characters and the acting. Well, that's why it's so great to have different opinions because you find out all this stuff, right? Well, they tried. I'm so missing what you guys are saying. I gotta look on here. I remember the Seinfeld thing with things. uh, I don't know. I have weird taste, guys. If you have noticed anything in my movie library, is I have eclectically weird tastes, and I own that. Like I completely do. I own the fact that my tastes are weird and strange, and hopefully you guys will love me a bit more for that. Anybody can show you around the library of the most of the latest blockbusters and stuff that's out there. Um, there's a time, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. There's a time when um, I kind of kept to myself a bit more for the stuff that I liked. I would not own it. I would not own the fact that I liked all this kind of this crazy Z grade stuff. But nowadays, maybe it's just where I got older, or just as I started collecting, like really started collecting hardcore, that when you're putting your money in, then you start to notice the movies that you're going to over and over again, right? And for me, I go towards the Vinegar Syndromes. I go towards the Arrows and the Scream Factories, and not some of the bigger ones. I go towards stuff like I watched the Women's Torment. I watched it a few times. Stuff like Incubus. I watched Incubus when I was going for the podcast. I watched it 3 times for the podcast. But I've watched it since then, and I've really enjoyed it. There's ones that I think that I'll watch lesser than others. I think it was the early 2000s for the. I'm not quite sure for that Lolita that you're talking about. We need different fun stuff, uh, and we need to stop being scared of. We got to stop being scared of the remake and the reboot. We got to stop it. They're going to happen no matter what. There is a lot of actual original work out there. It's just like it may not always be like the studio higher budget stuff, right? But we can't be scared of like the remake anymore, because some of them are really good, and sometimes it can be fun. I watched House on Haunted Hill last night, and there's a remake for you, right, from the late '90s, 1999 actually. Now, House on Haunted Hill is a William Castle classic, but that being said, this is not a classic film. It's it's a William Castle classic. It's a fun film, and one of the things that I'd always heard, and I think kind of like admired my idea on it, was that like House on Haunted Hill was this movie that had these horrible CGI, and it was like filled with like these CGI ghosts and stuff like that. And I watched it last night, and that could not be farther from the truth. There's like little to no CGI in the 1999 remake of like House on Haunted Hill. In actuality, William Malone uses like almost completely all practical effects. All right. It's my sis. And that's one thing that I'd forgotten. One thing that I didn't remember is that movie didn't use like basically there's a couple effects. Like there's one like I think when you see like the creature, like the ghost thing. See. But definitely, if you've never checked it out, definitely check out House on Haunted Hill. Great interview with William Malone on it, by the way. And there's like a featurette, an archival featurette called A Tale of Two Houses. And it's basically showing the old film, House on Haunted Hill, and the remake film, and kind of like comparing them and contrasting like the differences in the films, and showing like certain scenes that were taken from the original and actually were redone. It's really really interesting. The other film I'm going to recommend to you tonight, by the way, is Shout Select's Dragnet, and I'll tell you why right now. Dragnet is super super cool. It's a super fun film. The 80s was an amazing time for these action, adventure, comedy hybrids. They did them really well. Now, what's really good about that, especially if you're a Dragnet, or you're a fan of the Dragnet TV series, or you like that type of stuff, you're going to love this, because when Dragnet came out to promote the film, what they did was they did a TV special where they basically talked all about the original series, Dragnet. They talked about Jack Webb, his life. They talked about the radio show, the TV series, the movies, and the movie, because there's actual original Jack Webb Dragnet movie that came out back in the day. All that is talked about, and they show pictures, and they talk about the different actors that came in and out of it. And then at the end of that special, then they show a little bit about the new movie. Like at the time, the new movie Dragnet with Tom Hanks and Dan Aykroyd. Now that special that came on TV, that is on that Dragnet set that Shout Select put out. That hour-long set is on there. Yeah, there, Tom Hanks, right? Dan Aykroyd is most of the rapping stuff in that one, but Tom Hanks helps out. But yeah, I strongly recommend. If you don't have Dragnet, that Shout Select set, get it. It's awesome, and it was actually pretty inexpensive out of the ones that I got. So I strongly recommend it. If you have not picked it up, pick it up. And a great interview with Alexandra Paul, by the way, who actually is still gorgeous today. I wonder what her sister looks like. I know she has like an identical twin sister. Do they still look alike, I wonder? I know she had her sister did a scene in Christine, which is kind of cool. But have you not seen The Burbs? Dude, watch The Burbs. The Burbs is excellent. I don't want to overhype it, but I really like The Burbs. It's a different film. It's weird. It's quirky. But Burbs is always one that I've really enjoyed. Is that on Shudder? I got it. Like, I bought the Arrow edition of The Burbs. Shout Select is of The Burbs there too. If there's different features on it, I will rebuy it. That's how much I like The Burbs. Turner and Hooch, I'm okay with. Not one of my favorites, but it's a cool film. I was not big on the dog, the buddy partner dog films. Turner and Hooch is probably one of the best of them, though. Definitely one of the best of them. But yeah, there's certain ones that I can say that I do like, because I'm not watching horror all the time. Or that obviously I watched Dragnet the other night. But Mr. Mom, Shout Select put that one. I got to get that one. That is fantastic. I saw Mr. Mom in the theater, Jesse, and actually I saw Mr. Mom in the theater 4 times. The girl in it, I think her name was Angelian, something like that. I think it was, oh God, what was her name? Mr. Mom, the blonde-haired girl. She kind of tries to seduce Michael Keaton. Eyes of Laura Mars is a good one. It's not Terry Garr, because Terry Garr played the wife, I think. Yeah, it was Angelian. The reason people didn't like Bonfire of the Vanities is because most people that watched Bonfire of the Vanities didn't, they read the book. And I completely understand if you read the book Bonfire of the Vanities and you watched that film and you were peeved. It wasn't good. It's not a good representation of the book. It's the best thing I can tell you. You can enjoy it, definitely, if you haven't read the book. But you got to separate them. You really do. They're very different mediums. I haven't watched Bonfire of the Vanities in years. The first time I saw it, like Brian, I really wasn't that impressed. And probably I had high expectations going in. Like, the book was good. This was a Dreamcast. Yeah, I don't think Bruce Willis was the right actor for the role. And I got to rewatch it. But back in the day, one of my things was I didn't think Bruce Willis was the right choice. Like, in my opinion, I didn't think he was the right actor to be chosen for that role. Actually, that being said, I would not be able to tell you right now. I'd have to read the book or rewatch the film to say, okay, who would I put in that role? But it wouldn't have been Bruce Williams. Um, scarred by Old Yeller. Everybody was scarred by Old Yeller, man. We're all scarred by Old Yeller. Certain movies that just like stand out. The scar you as a kid, and The Yearling. Actually, Jesse, there you go. Not only is it on Blu-ray, but it has all the cutout sequences on here as well. Oh, Runaway I would love to have on Blu-ray. And it has a great booklet, alternate artwork, and Blu-ray and DVD. I actually pimped this one during the sale. I actually said, everybody got to get this one. Strongly recommend it. And The Women on the Moon is a really fun film, as you know. 101 Films released it, Jesse. It's a UK company. And is it? I think it's region free. Let me go back and check. It's region 2, region B region. But I'm guessing you got like a... Now what's really cool, it has all the cut scenes. So there were like skits that were cut out of Amazon Women on the Moon. Now I don't mean like just parts of other skits, but there were actual skits that were cut out of the movie that just didn't make it for time reasons. Those are on there. Yeah, they usually go on for fairly cheap, and you got one from the US? Is that like a Blu-ray one? All right, guys. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. It's a really great edition of it. Yeah. If you do, does yours, Wolf? Does that have the cut scenes and stuff like that? Because you got this whole sequence. It's a dark comedy sequence. There's one like it set during World War II. I think it's World War II. If you've ever seen like the uncut version of like it's basically the cut scenes are like they're not put back in the film because there was no place for them. They're shown after. They're like you can watch them afterwards, and I think you can watch them with commentary too. But there's this one sequence. So basically, it's a dark one where basically they got to end World War II, and it's but every war has like I won't give away everything, but every war has an unknown soldier, right? Because people get behind an unknown soldier, like this somebody that's been somebody that's fought the brave fight, and the thing is everybody like in this particular war has been accounted for, so they don't have an unknown soldier, so they got to kind of convince this guy. The war's ended, right? To kind of like get killed. So they can have like an unknown. It's funnier than I'm making it sound. It's really well done. Good actors in it too. So if you've seen that skit, then you've got then you've got one that's got the uncut skits in it. Definitely check it out. 101 Films. And let me just see here. I go to their website because I want to see what it is right now. It's a red label, and they have different types of labels. Hey, Action Jackman, how's it going, dude? I am here extolling the virtues of 101 Films, which you know very well. Do they have a sale on right now? Okay, let me just check here. I'll see if there's a sale on 101 Films right now. They've always got sales on. These like have sales on all the time. So let's go to the red label. So Amazon Women on the Moon is super cheap. Actually, it is £10. That is how much Amazon Women on the Moon is. yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be going off in a couple minutes, but because I got to talk to some people there. So extras, we're going to need bigger skits, an interview with Carol Gottlieb, cinematographer on the moon, interview with Daniel Pearl, who did it. There is audio commentary with Nathaniel Thompson from Mondo Digital. There's a booklet and with interviews from Sybil Danning and Ira Newborn, the composer. And picture gallery trailers, 6 cut scenes from the film, and bloopers. There's also a blooper thing on there as well. So there you go. 101 Films. It's on. They got a Shopify thing, Jesse, and it is £10. So if that's something you want to grab, the other titles in their Red Label collection, by the way, are is Nightmares, but that's already from Scream Factory. They did a version of Black Christmas. Let's see, what else is there? Is that all they got? Like, I know they had like Jack the Giant Killer and Basketball and stuff like that. Jesse, I went through Amazon. I usually go through Amazon UK when it comes to the indicator releases. That being said, I do find that a lot of them later come on to Amazon CA and Amazon.com as well. But I personally, for this one, just to make sure, I got it pre-ordered from Amazon.co.uk. That being said, if it comes out tomorrow for the same price on Amazon CA, I'm going to pre-order it on Amazon CA, and I'll just keep them both up, and whichever one ships first, then I'll just cancel the other one. Because I do really want that set. It's one of those, I've gotten every indicator set so far, and I'm not stopping now, obviously. So I'm excited about that. I'm also excited. I'm thinking if they're doing the Norman J. Warren set now, then, 9 chances out of 10, we're getting another Hammer set for October. And I'm actually like a horror-related Hammer set. So I'm actually kind of excited about that. So I'd say, because you get a lot of Amazon, like I go to Amazon CA normally to look for that type of stuff. But I would normally, when it comes to indicator, I'll order it from there. Do I like Howard the Duck? In a weird way, yes, I do. Before it became a cult film, though. I'm a huge fan of Howard the Duck, the comic strip. Now, I know a lot of people are not. Like, it is a pretty bad film. But yeah, the Leah Thompsons. I will watch anything Leah Thompson's in. She had a TV series. Like, I don't even know if I really liked the TV series. Like, she was a cartoonist in it, I think. Anybody remember this one? But I watched it because Leah Thompson was in it. And I'm from the 80s. And we all watched Leah Thompson because she was the goddess. Caroline City, yeah. That was funny, right? Just wasn't because she was in it. It was actually funny. I'm assuming it was funny. I don't remember what it was about really anymore. But I remember watching it for her. I'm not going to lie to you. I did enjoy Howard the Duck. It was not the greatest representation of the comic strip. It definitely wasn't as subversive enough. You know what I mean? But like if you've ever read the comic strip, the comic book Howard the Duck, then it's like super like satirical and like political. Uh, it goes in like a lot of like different like unique, quirky, weird ways. Not a lot of that comes through in Howard the Duck the film. She was in the first film, but I think in the second film they hired somebody else, or was it the other way around? No, she was in the second. Okay, no. See, the mom. Yes, thank you. Yeah, because she's the one that calls him Calvin Klein. At the time that Howard the Duck came out, I don't think people were ready for for that type of film. It's a different time. We live in a different world now. If a Howard Duck film came out now, it would do. I think it would do extremely well, and because there's a lot of weirdness. Tim Robbins is in Howard the Duck, for crying out loud. But yeah, yeah. You cannot mab Back to the Future. I know it's your opinion, but still, Back to the Future is an awesome film. It's an awesome trilogy. It's a good trilogy. It works really well. The one that I think is most underrated, though, is Back to the Future 3. That's actually a good Western. I think everybody kind of fell in love with Leah Thompson during Some Kind of Wonderful. Howard the Duck is not a superhero. I understand that. Howard the Duck is not a superhero. He's a guy, he's a duck, a character from another dimension that kind of gives a unique look at Earth. I do too. Back to the Future 3, I think, is better than Back to the Future 2. I know, that's sacrilege, but that's my thoughts on the films. If anybody asks me, I like Back to the Future, then I like Back to the Future 3, then I like Back to the Future 2. I think it's a great trilogy, and as far as trilogies goes, it's one of the better trilogies out there, especially when you see other trilogies that decide to make more, and that doesn't always work out too well for them. But I don't know. I mean, like, I enjoyed it. There you go. The long answer, but there you go. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I know James Gunn liked it because he put Howard the Duck in his as in Guardians of the Galaxy, and of course Howard the Duck shows up in Endgame too. Actually, if you look really closely, he's like in Endgame. We know when they bring in Wasp. So just look kind of to the side of her. It's Howard the Duck with a gun. Godfather. It shouldn't. I mean, I never got that it ruined this for me thing. People will say, like it happened like with Star Wars, right? And people are like, oh my God, I didn't like The Last Jedi. It ruined Star Wars for me. Why? It ruined Star Wars. You mean you can't like Star Wars now? You can't like Star Wars Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back. That's gone because you saw a movie that you didn't like. So the rest of them, all the merit is gone out of that because you didn't like this one. Or like, I can't, those Indiana Jones, I can't watch those. Or like Godfather 3. Oh no, now it's ruined for me. I'm not a big fan of Godfather 3. I'm not. I didn't think it was that great. But Godfather 1 and 2, I think, makes a great film together type of thing. Actually, I like Return of the Jedi. My better half actually had a different view on it than I did. Like, for one, she loves the Ewoks. They're vicious little creatures. They're like, oh, look how cute. No, they're not. They're like cannibalistic, vicious creatures, and they kick butt. I don't think it does the Warlock. I think that's kind of a BS thing. I call BS on that. I mean, if watching a film means you can't watch the older films anymore, or you can't get excited about another film in this franchise that's done by a different creative person or a different director. I'm sorry, but you're not that big of a fan of the franchise of the franchise, in my opinion. I'm going to get some thumbs down for this, by the way. But really, I mean, like right now, Game of Thrones. I'm not sure who's watching it, but like this is the last series of Game of Thrones, last season of Game of Thrones, and some people are upset by some of the, I guess, the creative choices that are made in the last few episodes of Game of Thrones, right? Okay, it's like, but honestly, nothing doesn't fit. Nothing is out of character. But that's the thing. I mean, you have to, if you're a fan, if you are a diehard fan of something. I like horror films. I love horror movies. Like I like slasher films, and no films have been derided more with bad sequels than the slasher franchise, right? So, with that being said, if like for instance, Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation, I enjoy it. It's a bad film. I enjoy it's a bad film, but if I'd stopped there, I kind of wouldn't have seen a lot of the other cool stuff. See, I can't say that it, because at the end of the day, The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing, is still an amazing movie. Whether you like the prequel or not, if you don't like it, you know what? It's a film. It's an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever you spent. It's not canon to you. I got a friend that loves Pumpkinhead. Fantastic. That's one of his favorite films of all time. Pumpkinhead. That's one of the great. For him, that's one of the greats. Pumpkinhead 2, I thought was a blast. He hated it. So for him, Pumpkinhead 2 doesn't exist because Pumpkinhead for him is this like perfect little urban gothic film, right? There's Pumpkinhead 2, and it gets worse. 3 and 4 are even worse than that, right? But he still loves Pumpkinhead, even though those came out. But that's the thing, the R though. I mean, like I love Friday the 13th. And for some people, what they consider the worst one is part 5. That's my favorite. Definitely one of my favorites. But I think we can all agree part 8 is pretty bad. You grew up on Police Academy. There's another one. Like they can sequelize stuff all they want to. One, you don't have to watch it. Two, just like the films that you like. Two, you can pass over. I mean, if you don't like, what's his name, Rian Johnson or something like that. If you don't like Last Jedi, fantastic. Don't like Last Jedi. But there's other films coming out. Maybe you like the next one. J.J. Abrams. Maybe you like the one before, Force Awakens. You can like the next one. Oh, I love part 2. Part 2 rocks, man. Amy Steele as Jenny. Oh, awesomeness. Yeah, part 8 isn't that bad, is it? But it's not one of the better ones. Like it's not a good representation of Jason. Not as bad as like Freddy versus Jason, where Jason, pretty much like Freddy's bitch, but just saying. Part 7, I love part 7. Jason versus Carrie. I saw that one in theater. I really enjoyed it. Too many films. There you go. See, I love Alien, and I love Aliens. I was not a fan of Aliens 3. I still love Alien. I still love Aliens. Aliens 3, that happened in another universe. That's another timeline. That's what I'm going with. It doesn't exist. There's no Aliens 3. But for me, it doesn't though. Like maybe I'm just wired differently, Warlock. Maybe that's the thing, right? Because I watched Aliens 4. Jason Goes to Vancouver, but it was cheesy fun. I mean, it wasn't great, and then of course there were the other ones that are out there. But I still love Aliens. I can go watch them anytime. They're just so fantastic. Maybe I'm just wired differently. Maybe it's just me. A bad film can't ruin what I liked before. It just can't. I just love the films that I love. I mean, I watched all the Nightmare on Elm Street films. Part 6 is not going to ruin part 3 for me. I just love you, part 3. You're so awesome. I do. And I saw like Dream Wars in theater. I remember the Dokken music that was, music videos playing all the time. Uh, can I be honest with the Prometheus films? I found them a little bit hard, but I don't think that like, and I'll say this, and I've said this many times on here. I don't think that I watched them at the right time, because there can be movies that I just don't get into or that I don't like, but I'll watch them, and at another time, and I'll totally get them. And I'll know going in sometimes if I'm watching a film and like maybe I shouldn't be watching this right now. See, I haven't seen like I need like a good example. Like Alien is probably the best example for like connected storyline. With I guess with Star Wars, I'm one of the people that don't agree, because for me a Star Wars film, it's just fun. It's just like it's a blockbuster type of film. I'm not expecting, too much. If I was gonna be rooting for Star Wars, the prequels would have done it for me. But with the midichlorians and stuff like that, right? I see. I liked Alien versus Predator. Again, I'm weird. I got weird taste. I liked Alien versus Predator Requiem. A lot of people didn't. I saw what they were doing with it, and I thought, yeah, I can get on board with that. It's a fun film. When it comes to these type of films, I guess maybe I don't take them too seriously. Doesn't mean like my passion or my love for them isn't great. It definitely is. It's just I never got that. I never got that. Let's start up a petition and like this movie is no longer going to be like, let's write this movie out of here. Cutthroat Island. I love pirate movies. I really do. If it's, I'm blind to whether a pirate movie is good or not. I just love pirate movies. I like swashbuckling stuff, right? Nice, Livens. See another person for Requiem. You're one of the only persons, Livens, that I've ever heard say that they really liked it. But I always have, and every time I talk about it, people are like, "You like that one?" Yeah, I actually like Requiem. And I'm excited for the new Star Wars film. But I'm kind of excited where they're going to go with the trilogy. Yeah, hence Captain Blood. When I was a kid, growing up, Captain Blood was one of those movies coming all the time. So me and my friends, we would play Captain Blood. We'd get sticks and we'd sword fight. Eventually when I got into like in school, Seahawks, fantastic. There's not like I said, there isn't one of these I don't think that I don't like. But I would like I led our fencing in school and stuff like that. Yeah, I was really into that stuff. But I need to do fencing, not just because I'm a big geek and I want to play pirate, but for roles and like on stage and acting, that type of stuff. Anyway, this has been my longest video in a while, guys. My voice is going. So thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for joining me, for staying so long tonight. I really do appreciate it. I didn't get back to do any more of the tour, but that's okay because in my next video, we will do more of the movie library tour. This is an ongoing thing that I'm doing with my videos right now. So yeah, it is exactly, Brian. It's time for tea and water for Bruno and pets, belly rubs for Hubert, and a little bit of like some time for, hey, actually, Jack, hope you had a good one on there. Time with the good old Scaredy Man. Definitely, guys, if you're on Instagram, check out Trini's like movie library pictures. They rock. And look at all the names here because a lot of these guys have channels, and these channels are awesome that you should be watching. Thank you for watching, guys. I am Aaron. You are the Movie Club. You are awesome. You rock. And without you, I'd just be sitting here talking to myself. Have a great evening.